Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padang Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitangscha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine. Everybody. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Sutta Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Pariprajakacharya Stotra Sutta Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Jamuna Mai Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 1, Text 11. Please repeat. Etat nirvidyamananam ichatam akutabhayam yoginam nripa nirnitam hare nama anu kirtanam etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akutobhayam yoginam nripanirnitam harinamanukirtanam etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akutobhayam yoginam nripanirnitam harinamanukirtanam etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akutobhayam yoginam nripanirnitam harinamanukirtanam etan nirvidyamananam ichatam akutobhayam yoginam nripanirnitam Harinamanunkirtanam. Etan nirvidyamananam. Kutobayam. Yoginam nripanirnitam. Harinamanunkirtanam. Vaishnavis. Nirvidyamananam. Ichitamakutobayam. Yoginam nipanirnitam. Harinamanukirtanam. Nirvidyamananam. Ichitamakutobayam. Yoginam nipanirnitam. Harinamanukirtanam. Etat. It is. Nirvidyamananam. Of those who are completely free from all material desires. Ichatam. Of those who are desirous of all sorts of material enjoyment. Akutabhayam. Free from all doubts and fear. Yoginam. Of all who are self-satisfied. Nripa. O king. Nirnitam. Decided truth. Hare. Of the Lord. Sri Krishna. Nama. Holy name. Anu. After someone. Always. Kirtanam. Chanting. Translation. O king, I read slow, so there may be a few pauses here and there, but I will finish, and then we'll do it responsively. O king, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord after the ways of the great authorities is the doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Please repeat. O king, constant chanting of the holy name of the Lord, after the ways of the great authorities, is a doubtless and fearless way of success for all, including those who are free from all material desires, those who are desirous of all material enjoyment, and also those who are self-satisfied by dint of transcendental knowledge. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. In the previous verse, the great necessity for attaining attachment to Mukunda has been accredited. There are different types of persons who desire to attain success in different varieties of pursuits. Generally, the persons are materialists who desire to enjoy the fullest extent of material gratification. Next to them are the transcendentalists, who have attained perfect knowledge about the nature of material enjoyment, and thus are aloof from such an illusory way of life. More or less, they are satisfied in themselves by self-realization. Above them are the devotees of the Lord, who neither aspire to enjoy the material world nor get out of it. They are after the satisfaction of the Lord, Sri Krishna. In other words, the devotees of the Lord do not want anything on their personal account. If the Lord desires, the devotees can accept all sorts of material facilities. And if the Lord does not desire this, the devotee can leave aside all sorts of facilities, even up to the limit of salvation. Nor are they self-satisfied, because they want the satisfaction of the Lord only. In this verse, Sri Shukadev Goswami recommends the transcendental chanting of the holy name of the Lord. By offenseless chanting and hearing of the holy name of the Lord, one becomes acquainted with the transcendental form of the Lord, and then with the attributes of the Lord, and then with the transcendental nature of his pastimes, etc. Here it is mentioned that one should constantly chant the holy name of the Lord after hearing it from authorities. This means that hearing from the authorities is the first essential. Hearing of the holy name gradually promotes one to the stage of hearing about his form, his attributes, his pastimes, and so on. And thus the necessity of chanting his glories develops successively. This process is recommended not only for the successful execution of devotional service, but even for those who are materially attached. According to Sri Shukadev Goswami, this way of attaining success is an established fact, concluded not only by him, but also by all other previous acharyas. Therefore, there is no need for further evidence. This process is recommended not only for the progressive students in different departments of ideological success, but also for those who are already successful in their achievements as fruitive workers, as philosophers, or as devotees of the Lord. Srila Jiva Goswami instructs that chanting of the holy name of the Lord should be loudly done, and it should be performed offenselessly as well, as recommended in the Padma Purana. One can deliver himself from the effects of all sins by surrendering himself unto the Lord. One can deliver himself from all offenses at the feet of the Lord by taking shelter of his holy name. But one cannot protect himself if one commits an offense at the feet of the holy name of the Lord. As His Holiness Jayadvaita Swami said yesterday, feet means person. The holy name is a person. Such offenses are mentioned in the Padma Purana as being 10 in number. This is quite a long purport, and generally practically always at initiations, Srila Prabhupada would speak about the 10 offenses. So we may hear about them in the initiation ceremony today. But I would like to move on to discuss a very significant point in relation to the holy name, and very important for us, which is Srila Prabhupada's faith in the holy name. It was out of, well, of course, it was out of obedience to the order of his spiritual master, but also with faith in the holy name of Krishna, that he came to the Western world and brought the holy name and gave it to us and engaged us in chanting. Srila Prabhupada's faith in the holy name goes back till before he came to America. And I will relate some incidents that illustrate this fact. Srila Prabhupada had a god brother named Akinchana Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, who Srila Prabhupada said was a Paramahansa, a liberated soul. And Babaji Maharaj really relished chanting the holy name. Once or twice I had occasion to meet him, and I could see he was like tasting it and savoring it. So during Srila Prabhupada's sannyasa initiation, Babaji Maharaj was present, and he was chanting Hare Krishna. And at a certain stage, the priest who was performing the fire yajna indicated to him that he should stop chanting because they were going to be reciting the mantras. And Srila Prabhupada discreetly motioned to Babaji Maharaj, keep chanting, keep chanting. He considered the chanting of Hare Krishna to be most important. And later, Babaji Maharaj commented that he understood that Srila Prabhupada was meant to be the world acharya for the chanting of the holy names. Srila Prabhupada had another god brother named O.B.L. Kapoor, who was initiated as Adi Keshavadas. And when this also goes back to when Srila Prabhupada was in Grihastha ashram before he took sannyas. So Professor Kapoor asked him, because as many of you know, Srila Prabhupada was a pharmacist in his Grihastha life, or in India they say chemist. So Professor Kapoor asked Srila Prabhupada that, you know so many formulas. Do you know the formula for achieving love of God? And Srila Prabhupada said, yes, I do. And so Professor Kapoor said, well, can you share it with me? And Prabhupada said, yes. Chinada pisuni chena tarara pisa hishnuna amanina manadena kirtaniya sada hari. So that was Srila Prabhupada's conviction. So I will skip ahead now to after Srila Prabhupada came to America and began Krishna consciousness. And I joined the temple in Boston. And In those days, we didn't go out on saying Kirtan. We'd have our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening programs in the temple, and then the Sunday feast. And Satsvarupa Das Adhikari then was a social worker, and his paycheck was basically the only income that the temple had. And at a certain stage, because somehow the art department came to Boston, or artists were gathering in Boston and new devotees were joining. So his paycheck was not enough. So we had a meeting, what to do. And Srila Prabhupada said if necessary, devotees could get jobs. So one devotee said that, named Petit Pavan, that he used to work in the post office, so he could probably get a job in the post office. Again, someone said he or she knew the grocer down the street and might be able to get a job there. And then one very humble devotee named Nanda Kishore, he said that Srila Prabhupada had written a letter, and during Srila Prabhupada's time, whenever any devotee received a letter from him, all the other devotees would gather around, and the recipient of the letter would read it. And it was like common knowledge. It was like a message from a divine message. So Srila Prabhupada had written a letter in which he said, if you just go on saying Kirtan, or if you just do saying Kirtan, all of your problems will be solved materially and spiritually. So there it was. So we decided we'll do that. We'll try going out on saying Kirtan. And we didn't have, we weren't distributing books, or I don't even think or BTGs even. But anyway, so we went out, and we came back, and we counted up, and there was $7, which was actually pretty good back then. So we thought, okay, let's do this again. It seems to be working. So we went out the next day, came back, and counted up $12. Like, this is getting even better. And we went out the third day, came back, counted up $19. So, okay, this is it. By saying Kirtan, all of your problems will be solved materially and spiritually. So that instruction always remained in my mind. And then years later, a couple of years later, Srila Prabhupada returned to India, and he asked some disciples to join him there, and he placed me in charge of the Juhu Bombay project. So in Bombay, Srila Prabhupada had a friend named P.L. Sethi, Pishorilal Sethi, who was a very staunch devotee of Srila Prabhupada. And his devotion for Srila Prabhupada reminded me of Hanuman's devotion to Lord Ram. He was so staunch. So Mr. Sethi had, from before he met Srila Prabhupada, he had been a member of a group called Radha Madhav Prem Sudha Sankirtan Mandali. So Radha Madhav, Prem, love. Sudha, this Sudha is not Sudha in the sense of pure, but Sudha in the sense of nectar, Sankirtan Mandali. And they would meet every Sunday. They were grihastas in Bombay, and every Sunday they would meet and do 12-hour a continuous kirtan, Akhand Harinam Sankirtan, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then 2 hours of songs from Vraj. So Mr. Sethi had the idea that instead of doing it at one of the devotees, the householders' homes, they could do it at the temple. So we arranged it in the small temple. The big marble temple was under construction, but this was 1977. It was getting along. And Srila Prabhupada was staying in the tower where his quarters are, the west tower of the guest house. But the elevator wasn't working. But anyway, he was there, and he was quite ill. But still, as the kirtan was going on in the temple, he was listening and appreciating. And at a certain point, these devotees, they just wanted to reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada. I mean, they probably would have loved to go up and meet him, but they couldn't go up because there was no elevator, and they had to be in the kirtan. But anyway, at a certain stage, they came out of the temple, and they were chanting under Prabhupada's balcony. He was 5 stories up, or 6 as we would say in America. And so, Mr. Sethi had gone up, and he and Tamal Krishna Goswami brought Srila Prabhupada out to the balcony. And these devotees, they went wild. I mean, they were in such ecstasy. They were just singing and dancing, and then Prabhupada went inside, and they went back to the kirtan. Now, in the in the heat of the afternoon, most of our devotees disappeared. And so Mr. Sethi informed Srila Prabhupada of the situation. And then Srila Prabhupada called for me, and he said, why can't our devotees do like these people? Our devotees can only eat and sleep, which was Prabhupada's phrase for anything that wasn't Krishna conscious, basically. And Upendra, who was Srila Prabhupada's, one of his personal staff, he later said that all afternoon Prabhupada was just praising these people and condemning his disciples, that all they can do is eat and sleep. So the kirtan continued, and for the 12 hours, and then at 6, they sang the songs, and there was one lady, she was famous, at least in that circle, for singing Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Krishna, Krishna, Jai Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna. And while she was singing, Srila Prabhupada had tears coming down his cheeks. So the next day, Srila Prabhupada called for me, and he said that kirtan was wonderful. I want you to invite the entire group to live on Hare Krishna land. I will provide accommodations for them, and all they have to do is chant Hare Krishna Kirtan for 12 hours every day, just like they did. So my mind was thinking, you know, they're married people, they have jobs, their children are going to school. I didn't say it, but it was going through my mind. And I just remained silent. And I think Srila Prabhupada knew. So he said, all right, then our men, they should do 12-hour kirtan every day from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. And I said, but Srila Prabhupada, you know, the devotees have so much service and they have to, we have to open the temple and I don't know how that will work. So then Srila Prabhupada said, okay, then one day a week on Sunday, 12 hours. And by then I was so relieved, I said, yes, we'll do it. And afterwards, Tamal Krishna Goswami told me that Srila Prabhupada had engaged in transcendental bargaining with me. That if he'd started with 12 hours on Sunday, I might have said, oh, that's a lot. How about 4 hours? Because he started with like 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. By the time he got to 12 hours on Sunday, it was like such a relief. Yes, we can do that. Now, there was an amazing phenomenon related to that kirtan. I was the temple president and I had to deal with many problems. I mean, there was construction, the civic authorities, the devotees, just surviving in India. But I found that just as Srila Prabhupada said, by Sankirtan, all problems are solved materially and spiritually. So when devotees, it happened that every Sunday when we did this kirtan, 12-hour kirtan, all the problems were solved. Either the devotees realized there was no problem in the first place, or Krishna mystically helped and made the problem go away, or he gave us some insight how to deal with the problem. So, yeah, Monday, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, when devotees came to me with their problems, I would deal with them. But by Wednesday, definitely by Thursday, I knew that the 12-hour kirtan was coming and all the problems would be solved. But I didn't say that. I said, all right, give me a few days. I'll think about it. And come and see me on Monday. And it was really miraculous. And so, Srila Prabhupada wanted that, and just after that, he left Bombay, but he wanted me to report how the 12-hour kirtan was going, and it actually attracted a lot of people, and he wanted us to distribute prasad, which we did, so it was a great success. So Srila Prabhupada really had that faith in the holy name. Maybe one last incident, and then I'll see if there are any comments or questions. So this Kinchana Krishnadas Babaji Maharaj, who I mentioned, Prabhupada had another godbrother who went to the West, and that godbrother was not successful. I mean, not really. And Prabhupada was extraordinarily successful. So Babaji Maharaj asked this god brother that you went to the West and Swami Maharaj went to the West. Swami Maharaj is how they refer to Srila Prabhupada. You presented the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and he presented the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. You introduced the Hare Krishna mantra, and he introduced the Hare Krishna mantra. But he was successful and you were not. What is the reason? And then Babaji Maharaj gave the answer that he had complete faith in the holy name, and that's why he was successful. So yeah, this is our line. I mean, of course, from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through Srila Prabhupada, and we're all blessed to be in that line and to be chanting together. So, are there any questions or comments? Yes, is there a microphone?
Hare Krishna Gurudev, thank you so much for a wonderful class. The verse says that for the complete success for a person or a devotee, whether they have material desires or they don't, they are completely free of material desires, or they are on a transcendental platform where they are self-realized and satisfied, they all gain success by holy name. And how Vaisheshika Prabhu says that no mass, like most of the time, most of the devotees that are here, they don't want to come to the material world again because they don't want to repeat the material miseries over and over again, so no more. So can we artificially tell ourselves when their material desires come that no, I don't want any desires, like even if they come, because they come like ocean waves and they go away. So can we artificially curb them, and would that work?
Well, I mean, the way you phrased the question, artificially, I would say, no, it wouldn't work. But there's a beautiful verse in the 4th canto, Yat pada pankja pilasa vilasya bhaktya. The idea is, just like you said, the waves of material desire come without cessation. So is there any way to overcome those material desires? And Srila Prabhupada gives a beautiful purport, and in that purport, he writes that, yes, that the waves of a river come without any end, but they flow into the ocean. And sometimes, during high tide, the waves of the ocean overflood the waves of the river, and they become more prominent than the waves of the river. So in the same way, our desires to serve Krishna can overflood the waves of material desires and become more prominent than them. So that's the real solution to desire everything for Krishna. Yeah. Yes, Bali Mardan Prabhu.
Maharaj, I have a quick question. It says this Hare Namanu Kirtanam. So how much is too much? Means how much chanting we should do to clear our problems? Because it said that all success, all problems will be gone. Is it 16 rounds enough? Sometimes people give, no, you are not chanting attentively. So there are a lot of excuses come. So how do you know that my problems is solved? Is it just chanting 16 rounds or just Kirtanya Sadahari? All the times you have to chant. Can you give an insight?
That's it, Kirtanya Sadahari. Well, from that example I gave in Jew, at least 12 hours a day. But I mean, then again, problems. What are problems? I always think of this exchange between Bhaktiswarup Damodar Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. He was not a sannyasi then, he was a brahmachari, but he said to Srila Prabhupada that I have one department, the BI, and I have so many problems just in that one department, and you have the whole worldwide society. I can't even imagine how many problems you have to deal with. And Srila Prabhupada replied, problems? I don't see any problems. I just see service to my Guru Maharaj. So.
Were you in Surat, Maharaj?
Yes.
You know the river there?
Yeah.
The Tupi River?
Yes.
What happens at high tide?
I don't know.
The river flows the other way.
Oh, yeah. That confirms, exactly. Thank you. All right, so we have just 2 or 3. Oh, all right. Our God sister, Kanka.
Thank you, Maharaj, for such a nice class. I just wanted to share one story that when I got initiated by Srila Prabhupada, he asked me how many rounds do I chant, and I said 16, and his eyes got really big, and he goes, "That's all?"
That's a good one. Thank you. So, we have just a couple of minutes, and I want to call the attention of all of you to a special occasion that is coming up, called Veuwr Purnima. And I will read what Srimad Bhagavatam 12:13 says about Veuwr Purnima. If on the full moon day of the month of Bhadra, one places Srimad Bhagavatam on a golden throne and gives it as a gift, he will attain the supreme transcendental destination. Who wants to achieve the supreme transcendental destination? Okay. So, this year, Veuwr Purnima is on September 13th, which, coincidentally, is my birthday. So, just a fortunate coincidence. So, this is, yes, Vaisheshika Prabhu and his team at ISV have made a golden throne. And so you can approach the ISV book table and get your golden throne and set of Srimad Bhagavatams, so you will be all prepared for Veuwr Purnima. But I did have another thought, and nobody told me this, but it was just a thought, that if you give 2 golden thrones and 2 Bhagavatam sets, then who you give it to, they can also give it to someone and attain the supreme destination. And if you give them 3, they can give, and so on and so on and so on, unlimitedly, and everyone will go back to Godhead. So, but yeah, I'm sure we are anyway, but this way more will go. Anyway, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.